Hi, everybody. Welcome to the girls soccer playoffs in the great state of Texas. This is VypeFortBend.com coverage of the Kempner Cougars taking on the Friendswood Mustangs in round 2 of the girls Class 5A playoffs. I'm Roger Smith. We're here at Kempner on Voss Road. The Kempner Cougars are the underdogs in this one. They have a lot of momentum coming into the game, but Friendswood has an impressive record, especially on defense. And we'll talk about it in the Countdown to Kickoff show. Let's get that started. This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Soccer is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. All 4 of those locations are open on Saturdays. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. We'll step aside and be back with Laura Peter, head coach of the Friendswood Mustangs, when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
Welcome, everybody, to the Countdown to Kickoff. It's Monday night, and we're getting into the second round of the girls Class 5A soccer playoffs, and the Kempner Cougars are going to be taking on a very, very strong team in the Friendswood Mustangs, and it's time to visit with Laura Peter. Welcome in. Is this the first time you've played on the Kempner campus?
Yes, it's the first time I've ever been here.
Well, this is amazing that there's someplace you haven't brought your team because in 22 years, that's a lot of different venues. So talk about what it's been like to be the leader of girls varsity soccer at Friendswood High School for an entire century. Not really.
Well, you're making me feel old, I will say that.
I'm older than you.
Well, I would say that it's been a great ride over the years. We've been blessed to have some really great players come through our program and have been very fortunate to have some successful playoff runs. So, can't complain.
And the best one that you had? 2008, that was the deepest run, correct? In the state semifinals, is that what you said?
We've been to the state semis twice, and the state finals twice, and the state semis 3 times. I misspoke earlier.
Well, there are so many coaches in so many different sports, and they are great coaches. But kind of like I've said, the Kansas City Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid, he was a great coach before his team won the Super Bowl. But it just kind of validated him. I know it was that thing that he was chasing, and so many coaches. And, maybe Texas high school sports are the hardest place to win a state championship. So talk about the mission that you have. I know you may say that winning state is not everything, but come on, I know you want it pretty bad or you would not have put together such a great team.
Well, I would say that elusive state championship is definitely, the carrot dangling in front of my face, I suppose. But, our goal every year is not just to win district, but to make a deep playoff run and, we are fortunate that we can set those lofty goals most years. But yeah, it would be great to win a state championship.
And also, let's talk about family connections. I love those. And the Peter family, which you married Mr. Peter, has had complete iron-fisted control over varsity soccer at Friendswood High School for a long time. Talk about the fact that you're not the only varsity soccer head coach at Friendswood named Peter.
All right, yes. So my husband, this is his 29th year to be the head coach of the Friendswood boys team. They'll be playing tomorrow, and you know, he is fortunate as well to have some really great players come through and set sights on, you know, maybe a regional championship and getting to state. So it's interesting in our house. We're busy during soccer season.
I'm sure you are. Empty nesters yet?
No. Our two children, my daughter's a
How could I ask that question? I just looked at your roster and I saw your daughter's on the team. I can't believe I asked that question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, my daughter, actually, she's our oldest. She's a junior on this year's team. And then our son is a freshman.
Very good. Now let me ask you this. Sometimes coaches are assigned to a sport that might not have been their absolute aspiration. Was soccer the sport that you wanted to coach? Or was it something that was something you fell in love with after you were kind of in an arranged marriage of soccer?
Well, I was actually coaching soccer before I met my husband, so he had nothing to do with it. But as far as like my sports and what I'm comfortable with, I actually grew up playing more volleyball than soccer, but when I started my coaching career 28 years ago, I coached both volleyball and soccer and really fell in love with the sport. And after I had my daughter, had the chance to give up a sport, and volleyball was what I gave up because I love the game of soccer.
Well, here in Fort Bend, I'm very happy to be here. It's 11 schools in one district, but every once in a while I wonder what it would be like to kind of announce games when you have a single high school ISD. Mm-hmm. And Friendswood can put all of its resources into the varsity teams at Friendswood High School. I know it's a very proud tradition. So let's talk about your team and who you think is, well, who you think. You know your team inside and out. Whose performance is most important for your team to go as far as they possibly could this year? The ones you count on.
I would say, I guess I'm an older coach. I buy into the philosophy that defense wins championships. Of course, in our sport, you have to score goals, but our back line has been very solid for us this year, and we just posted our 19th shutout last week out of 24 total games, and so I would say we definitely rely on our back line.
Mm-hmm. And I must admit, I saw some of those numbers, and you got a scary team. So I know you are very, very happy with what they've done so far, and I wish you good luck. Not that you will necessarily need it. I know it's a tall order for the Kempner Cougar girls, but I know they're going to show up. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, so Kempner coming off that win in their first playoff round against Sharpstown, and we'll talk to their head coach Chris Davis when we continue on the Countdown to Kickoff show. Thank you very much, Laura Peter.
Thank you.
All right, our coverage on VypeFortBend.com is brought to you tonight by Xfinity and also First Tire and Automotive, with 4 great locations in Fort Bend County. They've got First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and also on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land, which is.
Are you ready?
Ready for anything. For what life throws at you, at your kids.
Are they ready to study, research, write papers?
To do all the amazing things they don't even know they're capable of yet.
Internet Essentials from Comcast brings affordable, high-speed internet to your home for only $9.95 a month. Now available to low-income households eligible for public assistance programs like Medicaid, the National School Lunch Program, SNAP, housing assistance, and others. Visit InternetEssentials.com to apply. No credit check, contract, or installation fee. Taxes, extra restrictions apply.
Hey, everybody, guess what? It's not even 7 o'clock. I said, guess what, everybody? It's not even 7 o'clock, and we're about ready to play this soccer match. Beautiful, brilliant sun coming in underneath a few scary clouds up there, but it looks like we're going to be able to play soccer on a dry field. And this is a great new field here at Kempner, as so many schools in Fort Bend ISD have. It's a new field turf surface on the soccer field, football practice field, whatever you want to call it. And the Kempner Cougar girls will be trying to advance the ball from right to left as we begin this first half. That is to say, from east to west. And the Friendswood girls have outscored their district opponents 93-1 and going 16-0 as they won District 22 5A. They're 19-2-2 overall. They beat Crosby in by district. And the Mustangs haven't allowed a goal since February 5th. That's the night they beat Manville 7-1. All right, this match is underway, and Kempner gets to touch the ball first, and they will try to advance it. Now they get it to midfield. Way over there on the other side, it's Elizabeth Wirtz. We'll give you the starters when we get a moment. And it's Hannah Coleman who pokes the ball way down to the end of the field, and it's past the end line, and it's picked up by the Friendswood goalkeeper. And there's a whistle and a stoppage of play. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on here. Maybe there's a clock issue. Yeah, we've got to reset the clock. That's okay. Nothing's really happened that will alter the outcome just yet. With its signature blend of 23 flavors, the taste of a Dr. Pepper is unlike anything else. At Whataburger, we're mixing up our own unique blend of flavors with the Whataburger Dr. Pepper Shake, a rich, cold, and creamy Whataburger shake mixed with the delicious flavor of Dr. Pepper. This iconic duo won't be here for long. Treat yourself to a Whataburger Dr. Pepper Shake. It's only available for a limited time. And you know, if you were going to go in there for one of those spicy chicken sandwiches, well, I hate to tell you this, but it's too late. They really did mean it when they said it was for a limited time. So now Friendswood possessing the ball for the first time as we are back underway. They move very fast and they advance it quickly down the field to Greta Labine. Greta Labine near the sideline. Correction, it's not Greta, it's actually Bailey Heavens. And she centers it to Brianna Freeberg. Yes, there are people in the stands always calling for Freebird, and she thinks they're calling for her. But she uses the left foot to advance it to what would be the 20-yard line on the football field. But it is backtracked as Bailey Havens setting up her team's offense. Now Friendswood does advance it deeper with Reagan Rudolph over by the far sideline. Centering pass gets it to Cameron Peters. She is the daughter of the head coach, but Kempner pokes it away and gets it back down to the end of the field. There's a little bit of a swirling wind blowing right now, and if you're over at the Kempner baseball field, it always seems to be blowing out toward left field, and if the wind is blowing in that direction, that means there would be a crosswind blowing from Kempner's left to their right. Now there's a steal. Elizabeth Wirtz pokes it away from one of the Friendswood players, and Kempner trying to play keep away, but now it's poked away by Friendswood. Kempner gets it back real quick. And there is Wirtz, sends it down the field. Sarah Moreno was trying to take it away from a defender. The ball goes out of bounds. And Kempner will throw it in from the far side. Jaretzi Noriega, senior. No, correction. That's Brianna Abrego. Throws it in for Kempner. And they get it not too far from the goal, but there are so many white jerseys down there. And Kempner just outnumbered, and Friendswood pokes it away on defense. Again, it goes out of bounds, and Kempner will throw it in again, this time with Hannah Coleman. We're just underway. We haven't even played 3 minutes yet. And it is Wirtz with her back to the goal. Now passes it over there to Sofia Roncal, and there's a whistle. Kempner will maintain possession after a violation by Friendswood, and they'll have a free kick. And one of the officials standing near what would be the 26-yard line at the west end if we were playing football, but the goal is on the turf and 36 yards away from the goal mouth as Elizabeth Wirtz will fire away. Now Sofia Roncal standing near the ball, and she'll tap it backwards to Wirtz, who lobs it in. And there goes Sarah Moreno, and out comes the goalkeeper and takes the ball away and knocks Sarah down. I hope Sarah's okay. She's still down. And the officials are waving the trainers over. Now she gets up, and it looks like maybe the forehead of the goalie came in contact with her cheekbone or something. She took a blow to the face, and we will step aside. No score between Kempner and Friendswood in round 2 of the girls' playoffs. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there's one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
So we're back, and Sarah Moreno has left the field with Kara Sylvester, the Kempner head trainer, taking care of her. And she ran into the goalie, Ellen Fairbanks. And you talk about a size advantage. Fairbanks definitely the one who's going to get less of the damage if the two of them collide. Now, it's still Kempner keeping it down in the offensive end most of the time, but here comes Friendswood attacking, and they fire it out of bounds. That was Cameron Peter. Again, she is the daughter of the head coach for Friendswood. Throw in for Kempner, and it goes off the knees of one of the Friendswood players all the way deep into the corner. And they did save it, kept it from going out of bounds, but it's still down there near the goal at which Kempner is going to be shooting if they can get a shot on goal. The defense for Friendswood has just been devastating. Wirtz dumps it in. Jaretsi Noriega trying to chase it down, but there are a lot more white jerseys than maroon ones down there at the west end. Now it's Friendswood quickly advancing the ball, but it's turned back by Brianna Abrego of Kempner. And Friendswood gets it back. They get it across midfield, and now they are on the run. They have some good numbers down there, but it's poked away nicely by Hannah Coleman of Kempner and run down over near the far sideline by Reagan Rudolph for Friendswood. Now Friendswood sets up the offense, and Emily Fuentes gets in the way of a pass. Wirtz gets a foot on it, but it's quickly taken away by Olivia Schmidt of Friendswood. The ball moving around like we were playing pinball right now, and there's an unforced turnover as Friendswood kicks it out of bounds. The intended receiver of a short pass was Olivia Schmidt, but it was beyond her reach. We'll keep our eyes open for Sarah Moreno to return to the field, but she didn't look like she wanted to return anytime soon when she collided with Ellen Fairbanks, the goalkeeper for Friendswood. Far sideline, Kempner inbounds, and it's headed back in the Friendswood direction. A skirmish for the ball. Fighting for it is Emily Fuentes over near the far sideline, but Friendswood comes away with it. Now an across the field pass. Bryn Farah. Now they get near sideline, and it's Bailey Heavens. Heads for the corner. And it's off the foot of Brianna Freeberg, and Kempner gains possession, and Wirtz gets it quickly down the field, but it is knocked back by Kempner's number 13. And I think you heard the thud of the ball. That was a nice aggressive defensive play by Jaretsi Noriega. She kind of went in underneath the feet of Emma Saldana. The ball went out of bounds back to Kempner. Friendswood throws it in. Kempner boots it back. Friendswood heads it back. And then Kempner sends it back near midfield. And Friendswood will set up the offense a long, long way from the goal. They haven't really had any real attacks on Madison Alexander, who's in goal for the Kempner Cougars. And the ball goes out of bounds on the far side. It will belong to Kempner. The thing about soccer, you can easily be lulled to sleep. It can look like one team is doing more than the other, but all it takes is to get the right shot on goal. And in the playoffs, one goal can be huge. It can certainly be huge based on the defense that Friendswood has been playing these last several weeks. It's been since February 9th. That's the last time they gave up a goal, playing a couple of matches a week. And last week's win over Crosby, as they shut the Cougars out, obviously, the Crosby Cougars. Neither team able to get it much past midfield in the last minute and a half or so. Headed back in the Friendswood direction by Malik Solomon. Now they get it into the Kempner end, and they move it sideways. Cameron Peter with a pass over there to her teammate Brianna Freeberg. But Kempner takes it away and sends it back over midfield. But again, Friendswood possesses. And they send it down the field, and Kempner's defenders gather. And the ball goes out of bounds right by the Kempner bench. Last touched by the Cougars, and Friendswood will throw it in. But there's a header back the other way by Annette Martinez, a sophomore for Kempner. It goes right back out of bounds. And now Elizabeth Wirtz has her feet on the ball, near sideline, and fires it down the sideline. And gives her teammate Jaretsi Noriega a shot at the ball, but Friendswood controls. And now there's a whistle, and unfortunately it is Jaretsi Noriega who fell awkwardly on her hip. And she's down for Kempner. And she's going to want Ms. Sylvester to come out and help her as well. Kara Sylvester she's kind of busy with Sarah Moreno on the Kubota vehicle. And I see Noriega is up on her feet and trying to walk it off here. And the fans appreciative of Noriega being so gutsy. I don't think she wants to come out of the game for even 1 second. Clock still running. This will become injury time near the end of the half. Olivia Schmidt into the offensive end for Friendswood, but very quickly Kempner pokes it away and sends it back. And Friendswood on offense, but in their own end. And now here is a deep kick. Chasing it down there is Pumari Madden. And Madden over on the left side, surrounded by maroon jerseys, and Kempner pokes it away. It's Sophia Roncal trying to get it down the field, and she fires it out of bounds. And Friendswood throws it in. And before it goes past the end line, Kempner sends it back out to a spot about 30 yards away from the goal. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Friendswood, and we're still scoreless. We have played 10 minutes here at Kempner. By the way, Kempner fans, we've been doing a lot for you lately. We had a softball game between your team and the Fulshire girls. And we also had a Saturday baseball game as the Rosenberg Terry Rangers came to Kempner for a Saturday matinee. It's an exciting game, but Terry came away with the victory, 6-5. Friendswood is going to throw it in as we're under 30 minutes to go. They get it into the offensive end, and it's quickly tapped out of bounds by Kempner, and that just means that Friendswood will throw it in again about 10 yards further forward. Kempner has some size on defense, and they are clogging up a lot of passing lanes, so Friendswood has not been able to really get on the attack like they're accustomed to. And Noriega in there playing gutsy defense almost took it away from Emma Saldana. And now the ball goes down near the baseline, and a centering pass by Friendswood's Bailey Havens, but it is quickly knocked down by Kempner, and the Cougars send it 30 yards back from the goal, and then Friendswood controls and backs it up even more. Now they have it near the far sideline as the lights are on here at Kempner. Centering pass, look out, Cameron Peter, don't let her get away, and there is a save by Madison Alexander. As Peter fired away but came up empty, and we're still scoreless. Alexander boots it into the air. Comes down into a scrum of players, and Kempner advances it forward into the Friendswood end, but Friendswood's defenders control it there, and they'll start the ball moving from left to right. Brianne Harner moving the ball down the near sideline. Now a double team on Friendswood's Bailey Havens, and she almost lost it, but she sent it back to Brianne Harner. And now Kempner turns it away. A nice solid boot to get it back going the other way from Destiny Uba. I think in her, if she wants to make some part-time money, Destiny should be an Uber driver. I think that'd be a great idea. By the way, I see Coach Chris Davis. He's having a good time, smiling, laughing. He's not acting like this is a high-pressure playoff game. Speaking of pressure, Friendswood trying to apply some offensive pressure, but Kempner takes it away from them. Annette Martinez deep in the defensive end. Now Friendswood has it about 40 yards from the goal mouth. They send it over to the far side. And now across the football hash marks to Brianne Harner. Harner near the corner, gets the ball over there to Havens. Havens digs it out, and now Kempner controls. And Brianna Abrego found a spot and sent it all the way back nearly to midfield, and now Friendswood controls again. Here's a deep centering pass, and it's headed back out of there by Annette Martinez. Friendswood fires one to the right of the goal, and it slices off near the corner, and Kempner simply kicks it out of bounds. Annette Martinez and her teammates are going to make sure they organize themselves on defense. Now there is a throw-in by Friendswood's Brianne Harner. A skirmish for the ball near the right corner. One of the Friendswood players goes down, no call. Now the ball goes out of bounds, off of Havens. Destiny Uba with a quick trigger kick right off the shin, and it goes out of bounds, and Kempner will throw it in. Noriega tips it forward. Kempner's still in possession, but they're also still in their own end. Dahlia Gazal making a play for Kempner to keep advancing it forward. And now it's in the hands of the goalkeeper, Madison Alexander. About 17 yards from the front of the goal, she boots it down, but it is headed back by Friendswood. Now Kempner trying to advance. Friendswood has it, about 40 yards away. Harner, still about 40 yards away, near sideline. Havens sends it to the middle. A lot of Kempner defenders there. Friendswood looks like they have something organizing here. Look out, Pumari Madden over by the far sideline does a pirouette, and there's a shot that goes wide of the goal. And Madison Alexander was right there just in case it had been a shot on goal. And the longer you get in a game like this against a favored opponent, the more you start to believe. So 24 minutes to go in half number one. A kick down the field, Emily Fuentes, turned back by Friendswood, but then Fuentes runs back over there and kicks it again. You know, I think I might have misidentified her. Yeah, actually that was Brianna Abrego. Now Friendswood has it. They're in their own end again. The defense advancing across midfield now. Kempner trying to clog up all those lanes, but they don't want to pack their defense together too far away from the goal. And Friendswood passes it out of bounds. An unforced error by Harner. And Kempner will inbound it one more time. Destiny Uba spins the ball, the overhead toss. Way down the sideline looking for Noriega. She heads it after the Friendswood player heads it a couple of times, and Emily Wirtz almost got a breakaway past the defender, but it was poked away by Friendswood, and now the Mustangs will try to attack again. Far sideline, they advance it. Kempner cutting off their path. Emily Fuentes playing some tough, aggressive defense, and then an attempt at a centering pass goes off the hips of one of the Kempner players and goes out of bounds. So I think we'll have a throw-in and not a corner kick. If it goes past the baseline, last touched by the defense, then you have a corner kick, but this will be a throw-in because it went out of bounds near the tennis courts. And the ball goes beyond the sideline, baseline, I should say, and that time it was last touched by Friendswood. So Madison Alexander can boot it back down the field. It's a very pleasant night in Sugar Land. It's also a very pleasant time to be inside the press box just in case, you know, it could rain, but most of the clouds are broken apart. I don't think they're going to get organized. I don't think they are. But I've never been very good at predicting weather. So it is Kempner holding its own with Friendswood so far. And a high centering pass gets caught up in the wind. Haven sends it deep. Look out. And Friendswood fires it wide. Oh my goodness. The ball got down there right in front of the goal mouth, and Kempner can thank its lucky stars as the ball got loose and Olivia Schmidt kind of did a pirouette and she had to fire it quickly, and when she did, it was off to the right. Madison Alexander places the ball on the ground and she's ready to boot it away. She's wearing the all black except for the blue shoes. And on a couple of hops, it gets to midfield, so that was quite a kick, and she managed to thread it between all those Friendswood players. But now Friendswood controls, and they move it into the Kempner end, and it's almost taken away by Noriega. In fact, if she can beat the ball to the sideline, she can keep the possession, but no, the ball was rolling a little bit too fast on this awesome brand new field turf at Kempner. There's a throw in by Friendswood, and it's quickly kicked out of bounds by Annette Martinez. And Brianne Harner will do it again. Well, she throws it in, but Kempner now controls near sideline. And a kick off the side of the shoe by Destiny Uba. And a whistle. And it's a foul on Friendswood. And I wonder how long it's been since they have played 20 minutes and still been in a scoreless tie. I don't know the answer to that. So Kempner boots it down the field with Menya Bird. She's the daughter of assistant coach Kelly Bird. Kempner now advances it into the offensive end. Noriega with a header. Wirtz and Noriega trying to get free among all those defenders. And Kempner's going to keep a lot of defenders back. They just want to make sure they don't give up a goal. And now Wirtz trying to control it over there against two Friendswood defenders, and They poke it down the sideline. Kempner gets it going back in the direction they want. Now here comes Friendswood. They might have a breakaway. Here goes Olivia Schmidt off to the goaltender's left, and the pass ahead was too hard. Madison Alexander comes forward and scoops the ball up. Now she steps out to what would be the 17-yard line on the football field and boots it down. Headed back by Friendswood, but then Kempner advances the ball into the offensive end. But there are plenty of Friendswood defenders waiting there. Kempner's Delia Gazal trying to take possession and advances it forward. Kicks it down there near the goal keep. Ellen Fairbanks of Friendswood. And she boots one with overspin. It doesn't go very far. Far sideline near midfield. Controlling it for Friendswood is Maya Palitz. Now they advance it to within about 50 yards from the goal mouth, and now Noriega is called for a foul as she knocks down Bryn Farah. So it'll be a free kick for Friendswood. They are 53.5 yards from the front of the goal. Deep kick and a head attempt, but out to come and grab it is Madison Alexander, and they turn away yet another offensive foray into the Kempner zone. Still scoreless in the second round playoff game. Friendswood beat Crosby and by district to get here. And Kempner beat Sharpstown 6-1. Friendswood has it, starting a possession near midfield, moving the ball to the middle. Now they try to thread it. A lot of spin on the ball, and it's poked away by Sophia Roncal of Kempner. Friendswood able to recapture it about 35 yards from the goal on the near side. Here's Havens, near sideline, and Kempner knocks it out of bounds. Nice aggressive play, Aneth Martinez. Harner to throw it in for Friendswood. And she throws it in where there was a Kempner double team waiting. The Cougars poke it away, knock the ball back about 15 yards. Now here comes Friendswood. Bryn Farah sends it over to the left side where there's not as much traffic. And there's a fire near the goal, and it is fired left and no good. Madison Alexander, I think, would have been able to make the save had it been necessary. Closing in on the 16-minute mark. Time left in the first half. Very good chance they could create a bit of a buzz in the crowd if it's still scoreless at that point. Alexander to boot it off the ground. Takes one bounce and gets about 45 yards from the goal mouth. Now Kempner trying to take it away as Friendswood tries to advance it. Big skirmish. Nobody really able to advance it very far. Now it's near midfield, but Friendswood possessing. There's a centering and forward pass to Havens. She throws a retreat pass to Farah. Farah sends it over here to Harner. Harner threading it through a bunch of defenders and getting it to close to the goal line, which is about, based on the angle, a good 20 yards away. Noriega breaks away for Kempner, and she is knocked down. That's a soccer tackle by Victoria Davis, and Noriega is down again. She went down and she had a pain in her hip the first time, and she got up, but this time she is staying down, and again she's going to get the attention of the trainers. We will take a break. You're listening to VypeFortBend.com coverage of girls' second round soccer action.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it, from unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
Noriega is off the field, and we'll tell you about her condition in a moment. Well, they're tending to her lower left leg, or I'm sorry, her lower right leg, and perhaps she will be back on the field before too long. And the question really, Victoria Davis of Friendswood knocked her down. No penalty was called, and the thing is, if in the judgments of the officials she was going for the ball, she, the defender, was going for the ball, then it's not a penalty or not a foul. But if that's what the object was to knock down the offensive player and nothing more, then that's where discretion comes into play. Now, Friendswood has moved it into the offensive end. Kempner's defense reacts well. Centering pass to Poo-Marie Madden, and she puts forth a one-hop shot, and it goes into the midst of Madison Alexander, and she turns away a shot on goal, an easy save for her. Alexander boots it down on one hop. It almost gets to midfield, and Wirtz trying to control, but she meets a double team. Now there's an Annette Martinez kick that is quickly redirected by Friendswood, and it goes out of bounds. It will belong to the Mustangs in the offensive end, near sideline, about 35 yards away from the goal mouth. Thrown in by Harner. Gets it to Havens. Quickly poked away by Kempner. And another nice little poke away by Dalia Gazal. She was seated when she did it, you know. I'll bet she can be very productive at school while sitting down, and she was very productive there with a nice defensive move. Another throw in by Harner is quickly turned around by Kempner, and they kick it back out 45 yards away from the goal mouth, and now Friendswood trying to advance it. Too many Kempner arms and legs in there, and Kempner boots it back to a spot near the 50-yard line on the football field. Now they send it way down the field, and flying it beyond the end line is Emma Saldana. And Alexander's going to have to chase that ball all the way back to where she's about, she's near home plate on the softball field. That's a long walk. By the way, while she's bringing the ball back, I'll tell you that tomorrow night from the Castle in Missouri City, we'll have 6A baseball. Two teams that can't stand to look at each other. The Elkins Knights and the Ridgepoint Panthers. It's always great when teams that feel that way about each other. Of course, they have a lot of respect and a lot of disdain, but it's great. That's what we love to do at VypeFortBend.com, your broadcast home for Fort Bend County sports. Now Kempner with a good solid kick from deep in their own zone, and they get it across midfield, but there Friendswood takes control. Now they're attacking on offense, and they kick it deep, but nobody down there to pick it up. It goes out of bounds and last touched by Friendswood, so Kempner will throw it in from near their own defensive corner on the far side. Brianna Abriego will be the one to throw it in. And we have a couple of substitutions now. Noriega is coming back in, and that's why everybody's so excited. And also coming in, Sarah Moreno. The walking wounded have returned to the field for Kempner, and that's inspiring. Also, Mariana Molina gets a bit of an ovation. So now the throw in. Kempner advances it a long way, but Friendswood takes offensive control, trying to dribble out of traffic. And a fire right down the middle. Cameron Peter tried to sneak it in between defenders, but she was unable to do that. And now Noriega is in the open field and about 50 yards away from the goal mouth, near the sideline, trying to keep it in. And she does a great job with that. And now a little give and go. Noriega chasing it to the sideline, and it goes out. Last touched by Kempner. Friendswood quickly throws it in without hesitation. They center it. Kempner would really like to get their feet on the ball again very soon, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Friendswood, and so Kempner gets its wish. Hannah Coleman to throw it in. It's getting darker, and we're at 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Still no score between Kempner and Friendswood. Kempner trying to pull off an upset on the heavily favored Mustangs. Ball goes out of bounds. Kempner was not able to keep it in. At last touch to Kempner player, and so Friendswood will throw it in. Over on the far side, those numbers are on the front of the jerseys are pretty small, so it's kind of hard to identify someone on the far side. Now it is Friendswood trying to advance deeper into Kempner territory, and Kempner sends their defenders way out near midfield this time. Much more aggressive defense rather than just trying to clog things up in the area within about 20, 25 yards of the goal mouth. So Friendswood kind of backs it up here. And Harner trying to advance outside the numbers on the football field, but the ball redirected by Brianna Abrego. Now Friendswood grabs it again. Now another offensive thrust. And there's a shot that goes way wide of the goal, about 20 feet wide, and Madison Alexander might need to take a flashlight with her, go find that ball as in the gathering gloom. But no gloom for the Kempner fans because their team hanging right in there. We have no score. Right at 8 minutes to go in half number one. In addition to that baseball game on tomorrow night at 6:45, Elkins and Ridgepoint, we will have the Austin Lady Bulldogs and Ridgepoint in a softball grudge match on Thursday. And then, of course, in Fort Bend ISD, everybody always takes Good Friday and Easter weekend off. So, Kempner trying to boot it out away from their goal, but Friendswood now has it on offense. Here's Harner down the football sideline, sends it near the corner, but kicked it out of bounds before she could get the ball to her teammate Bailey Havens. So Kempner about to possess it again. Uba to throw it in near side, spins the ball, takes a couple of steps, and a mighty toss headed back by Friendswood, but it is Kempner's Gazal who sends it into the Friendswood end, and chasing it down far side is Maya Palitz. She goes down the far sideline. Kempner trying to poke it away, and they do. Rich, cold, creamy, and bursting with flavor. There's nothing quite like the Whataburger Dr. Pepper Shake, available for a limited time. I cried today when I went by there for a spicy chicken sandwich. They're not selling those anymore, but I'm sure I can find something else to fall in love with at the Whataburger. The one closest to Kempner is over by the Home Depot. Just look for orange and white signs. You can't miss either one of them. Just a little bit north of Kempner on Highway 6. So Friendswood trying to make another offensive thrust, but they go close to the corner, and Kempner kicks it out, so it'll be a throw in from the far side. About 15 yards away from the sideline, and Friendswood throws it in very quickly. Gazal gets her foot on it. There are three Friendswood defenders waiting back near what would be the 35-yard line. Kempner really had no chance to get deep with the ball right there. But now Wirtz kicks it down there to the near sideline. There's a nice effort on the part of Kempner's Sarah Moreno, just trying to get the ball back. But it went out of bounds, and she last touched it, and so Friendswood quickly throws it in. They're kind of in a hurry-up offense. And they're going to dump it into the zone, and it goes past the end line, and ball rolls all the way back to those outstanding restrooms. You know, when you come to on-campus sports facilities, sometimes you don't have the very best restrooms, but Kempner really has great ones over there near the baseball and softball fields at the east end of the track. Kempner now puts the ball in play. Wirtz receiving a pass just short of midfield. And Kempner would love to get a chance to have someone break away with the ball, but Friendswood so well drilled on the way their defenders just keep possession, and now they dump it in again. Look out, one of the Friendswood players goes down. And is that a penalty? No, no penalty. Okay, thank you. I have a lot of great soccer advisors here. So I guess they have subjective officiating in soccer, or people wouldn't be making jokes about LeBron James. I think that's what they're trying to say. All right, we're still scoreless. 3:45 to go in half number one. Kempner and the heavily favored Friendswood Mustangs locked in a scoreless tie. Friendswood going to try to get something before halftime, but Friendswood turns it over. Wirtz advances it, but it is quickly turned around by Bryn Farah. Near sideline, Havens centering pass, but now it's into the teeth of the Kempner defense, and they send it back the other way. Kempner would like to get it into the offensive end. Moreno trying to take it away. Now centering pass, there is Olivia Schmidt trying to get away. Look out, someone might get a foot on the ball, and it is saved by Alexander. Cameron Peter got a good solid foot on the ball, but Alexander there for the save. And we're still scoreless with less than 3 minutes to go in half number one. Alexander angles her kick over to the far sideline. It almost gets out of bounds, but now Friendswood keeps it in. They bring it over to the near side, and Harner up the numbers on the football field. And a centering pass poked away by Kempner's Ron Cowell. And booted down the far sideline. Friendswood chasing it down. The ball near the sideline, and it goes out. Good hustle down there. And I think that was Menya Bird who chased it down there, and it went off of her knee out of bounds. But the ball is a lot closer to the goal at which Kempner wants to shoot. Now a high centering pass with a lot of hang time on it. Friendswood now has it in the Kempner end again, but not by very much. Uh-oh, look out. We're going to have a breakaway right here. Shot in goal, and Friendswood scores. Bailey Havens got behind the defense, and with 1:49 to go in half number one, Friendswood draws first blood. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there is one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
We're in the final minute of the first half, and Friendswood leads Kempner by a score of 1-0, and the Mustangs are on offense, getting the ball to within about 40 yards of the goal mouth. Centering pass, Olivia Schmidt trying to get free. Now it's over near the left corner, and a centering pass. Kempner heads it away from trouble, but Friendswood continuing to apply the pressure. There's a kick, and it's a shot on goal, but Alexander gloves it with 2 hands. 19 seconds to go. She's walking it up, and Kempner basically burning off what time is left here in the first half. Alexander gets it in the air, angles it to the near sideline. 5 seconds. Friendswood can't score from there, and that's how the first half will end. So Kempner played well, but the problem was one thing, and that is that Bailey Havens at 38-11 of the first half scored from about, I'm going to say she was 20 yards away, as she was away from the traffic and she got a chance to really give it a good rip, and she did. And it was unfortunate for Kempner. They were unable to stop that one, but they go to the halftime locker room, and when you're only down 1-0, you got to feel pretty good against a tough opponent like Friendswood. You're listening to VypeFortBend.com. We'll step aside and be back. And we'll talk about our upcoming programming, not just this week, but in weeks to come, and especially the games that involve Kempner. I'm Roger Smith. Glad you're with us. Whether you are from Fort Bend or from Friendswood, we are your broadcast home, certainly tonight, and we'll be back.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
Everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot in Sugar Land for helping us take care of business. Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, takes care of business every day, so VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. We'll be back after this message from the University Interscholastic League.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Don't miss the UIL, Texas UIL Boys and Girls State Soccer Championships in April. For more information, tickets, and whatever else you need to know, go to uiltexas.org. With its signature blend of 23 flavors, the taste of a Dr. Pepper is unlike anything else. At Whataburger, we're mixing our own unique blend of flavors with the Whataburger Dr. Pepper Shake. A rich, cold, and creamy Whataburger shake mixed with the delicious flavor of Dr. Pepper. This iconic duo won't be here for long. Treat yourself to a Whataburger Dr. Pepper Shake for a limited time. Well, we want you to mark your calendars for our VypeFortBend.com broadcast coming up very soon. First of all, this week, we'll have baseball tomorrow night, Ridgepoint at Elkins, coming your way at 6:45 with the Batter Up Show, and first pitch at 7. As Ridgepoint and Elkins, it's just like the old days. They are undefeated in district, both at 4-0 in District 26A play, and it's always great when they get together, but especially when the stakes are pretty high. And, of course, they will meet again later in the season on the hard-scrabble streets of Siena. But tomorrow night it's at Rick Carpenter Field, the Castle in Missouri City. And then we won't rest very long. We will take Wednesday night off, but we'll be back with you on Thursday night. That's, April 1st. No fooling. That's when it is. As the Austin girls are taking on Ridgepoint in softball with a 6 o'clock first pitch. And Austin really needs to win that one. And we'll have it for you with the Batter Up Show at 5:45 p.m. And then coming up the following week, we'll work in soccer wherever we possibly can. We think there's a very good chance the Ridgepoint girls might be playing a match that we'll be able to bring to you. But on Tuesday, April the 6th, more softball, Dulles at Ridgepoint, 5:45 Batter Up Show, 6 p.m. first pitch. Then on Wednesday, baseball resumes, Ridgepoint at Travis. Anytime Ridgepoint plays Travis in baseball, we have to be there. We just can't do anything else. And then on April 9th, a Friday, and April 10th, it's all about the Kempner Cougars as the Foster Falcons will play baseball here at Kempner, 7 o'clock on Friday, April the 9th. We will bring you that one. And then the next day, Saturday, April the 10th. And I don't know if the first pitch is at 1:30 or at 2 o'clock, but we will have it for you. Kempner against Foster. We'll take a break and be back with the second half. Friendswood leads Kempner 1-0 on the strength of a goal by Bailey Havens at 38:11 of the first half. But it's just 1-0. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there is one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number one, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
We take care of you so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot and Sugarland for helping us take care of business. Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, takes care of business every day, so VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Soccer is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive, make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugarland, and all 4 of those locations are open on Saturdays. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. So Kempner will be trying to advance the ball into the goal at the right end, advancing from left to right, trying to score in the eastern goal. As we have just a little bit of daylight left in the sky above the field here at Kempner, but it's not going to last very long. Friendswood got the goal from Bailey Havens at 38-11 of the first half. And Kempner's defense, which had been so solid throughout the first half, just had a little bit of a lapse that enabled Havens to get free. And she let it go. And the Kempner defense was frozen. You see what I did there? Here comes Friendswood, looking like they want to attack very quickly in the first half, but Kempner is able to get the ball quickly back down the field, and Moreno trying to take it away from what looks like a multitude of defenders for Friendswood. And the Mustangs get it back, and they advance it into the offensive end. There's Malik Solomon. She centers a pass, and Kempner's Moreno is knocked down. And the whistle blows, and Kempner will have a free kick from just short of midfield. Menya Bird plants the ball and turns around, looks at her head coach, Chris Davis. And there it goes. And the ball does not leak through that Friendswood defense, but Kempner does keep it in the offensive end. There's Wirtz trying to get away from defenders. Made a couple too many moves, and she lost it. And here comes Cameron Peter sending it into the offensive end. Kempner's defense retreating, and they send it back the other way. Now the ball trickles over near the far sideline, and Kempner keeps it in. Attempting of a centering pass, but Friendswood now has some numbers on offense, and look out. They get it to the middle. Olivia Schmidt sends it back over to the other side for Cameron Peter, and she runs out of room. The ball goes over the end line. The Kempner defense recovered well on that offensive foray by the Friendswood Mustangs. If you missed these numbers early on, Friendswood outscored its district opponents 93-1. They had a 16-0 record in District 22 5A, and they have not given up a goal since February 5th, which was the night they beat Manville 7-1. Now, Kempner on offense, attacking. Wirtz almost was able to redirect the ball down the sideline, but quickly Friendswood sent it back the other way. Now Friendswood gets it into the offensive end, but there's a lot of maroon there. So Kempner, Moreno trying to take the ball away, and she does, and now she is tripped up. Bryn Farah tripped her up, and it'll be a free kick for Kempner. It'll come about 5 yards shy of midfield. And it looks like there's a question as to where the ball should be, and Menya Bird was setting it up on the preferred side of the 50, but now she's being backed up about 15 yards, 10 yards shy of midfield. Now it's hammer time for Menya Bird. She's a junior. She'll get to play with her mom as assistant coach for one more year at Kempner. And she gets a pretty good foot into that one, but Friendswood heads it back. Now a high pass by Kempner into the offensive end. And Sarah Moreno trying to get free, sends it back inside the 20-yard line, but there's nobody back there except white-shirted defenders for Friendswood. But there's a nice attack on the part of Brianna Abrego, and she forces Friendswood to boot it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for Kempner as Hannah Coleman will do the honors. She's going to send it towards the corner. And in midair, Friendswood sends it back. But there's a nice centering pass by Menya Bird. It's redirected. Now Wirtz. Now Bird fires it again, and we have a breakaway. It's Moreno, but coming out from the goal mouth to grab it is Ellen Fairbanks. Oh, my goodness. If they'd just taken a little bit off that pass, I think that Moreno would have been able to fire away. But against such a good defensive team like Friendswood, you don't know how many chances that you'll have that are that good. Friendswood, Maya Palitz sends it down the field, but Kempner quickly redirects it, and look out. There goes Noriega from the right side. She fires one, she hooks it, heads in the goal! There's the equalizing goal for Noriega! And they're going insane over here on the Kempner side. That is the first goal scored against Friendswood since February the 5th. We have us a soccer match now. Jaretsi Noriega scores. And that is, if I'm doing my math right, at 4:54 of the second half. We are all tied up. And if we didn't have your attention earlier, I think we do now. K High or Die has tied the game. Now Friendswood trying to get back ahead, and they are in the offensive end. Look out. And there is a deflected shot there by Olivia Schmidt. And you got to protect Madison Alexander. Kempner trying to boot the ball out of there, but it's still way down in the offensive end for Friendswood. And with 34:18 to go in regulation time, we have a 1-1 soccer match. That goal by Noriega really came off her right foot hot with a sharp right-to-left break, and it was out of the reach of the goalkeeper, Ellen Fairbanks of Friendswood. Now a corner kick. They flash it across the goal mouth, and it's headed out of there by Kempner. Now it's over in the far right corner. The corners are kind of dark here at Kempner. They have 2 light standards on either side, and they're at the 20-yard lines on the football field, so deep in the corner. You don't really get a good view sometimes, but I do see that Friendswood is going to have a corner kick from the right, and they fire it in front of the goal, and it's caught by 2 hands. Alexander rose high to get it, and no bobble whatsoever, a very secure catch, and she'll step out to the 5-yard line on the football field, and she'll boot it down the field, high in the air, near sideline. And I think Noriega got poked in the eye or something, and now Friendswood is making a thrust towards the goal and firing it wide to the left and beyond the baseline with 33 minutes to go. Let's see, number 18, Malik Solomon. That ball rolled all the way past the pole vault pit and into the construction zone. Seems like nearly every Fort Bend ISD high school is a construction zone. They've got a lot of work done this year. Menya Bird to pound away from 5 yards out of her end zone. Goes over Wirtz's head. The Kempner player is the first to touch it near sideline. It's near midfield now. It is Friendswood controlling, and the ball gets past an intended receiver. They were trying to get it down there to Olivia Schmidt, but the ball sailed over her head. Madison Alexander scoops it up, and she boots it down the field, but effectively headed back by Friendswood. And look out, Schmidt. Left hash marks, passes it all the way over there to the other side to Harner. Harner encountering a defensive double team near the sideline, and it's booted out by Kempner. Friendswood will throw it in. Peter is the first one to get it. Friendswood trying to work the ball around, and now a couple of players fan on the ball, and Olivia Schmidt has her shot blocked point blank. She falls down, and Kempner boots it down the field where there are Friendswood defenders rebating, but Sarah Moreno almost took it away in the open field. Friendswood controlling, but the ball high in the air, a lot of hang time, gives Kempner's defense a chance to react. Now they send it over here on the near side. Solomon trying to release a shot, can't get it. Gets the ball back, but it's now poked away very nicely. Kempner playing effective defense. And up in the air off the head of Solomon, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in for Friendswood as one of the Kempner defenders made contact with the ball. It is Cameron Peter. Now sends it into the left corner. Solomon trying to get it out of there. And it goes beyond the baseline, and Kempner will possess it. Menya Bird will kick it off the ground. Wind has really not been a factor since the sun went down, hardly anything. Nice little draw on that tee shot out of the end zone by Bird, but Friendswood does send it back. And we're going to have a whistle, and I think it'll be a foul on Kempner, and so a free kick for Friendswood. It will come up a little bit to the right of Madison Alexander and 35 yards away from the front of the goal. She's got to look out as Olivia Schmidt will try to put some hot sauce on this one. Kempner's setting up the wall of girls 10 yards away from the ball. It's in the air, and it is high off the crossbar and beyond the goal. We're still tied 1-1 with less than half an hour left in regulation time. Friendswood and Kempner in what's turning out to be a classic soccer match. Menya Bird to swing away. I bet if she played golf, she could win some long drive contests. And she puts another hook on that one. And it is going almost all the way to midfield on several bounces, but now it is Friendswood defenders who are rerouting the ball, going back to the west end. Couple of nice moves there by Emma Saldana, and she gets deep into Kempner territory, but the ball goes out of bounds. and Kempner will throw it in. Overhead pass by Kempner is headed back in the wrong direction from the Cougar perspective, and it last touched a Kempner foot, and so it'll be Friendswood to throw it in on the far sideline, not too far from the goal. Now the ball rolling over there toward the corner and a centering pass, a big scrum of players in front of the goal mouth. And quickly down the field, Moreno trying to get free, but the ball is redirected by Friendswood defenders and out of bounds. And Kempner doesn't have it where they wanted it, but they will have it about 30 yards up the sideline away from the goal that they're defending. There's a pass that bounces 3 times, and first touch by Friendswood near midfield. Friendswood trying to get a little offensive attack going as we have a 1-1 game. Palitz, centering pass, all the way over there to Farah. Correction, it's Harner. Near the corner on the right side, and a centering pass knocked down by one of the Kempner defenders. I think it maybe hit someone in the elbow, which is a no-no, but of course it was point blank. She didn't mean for it to happen, but it'll be a corner kick. Here's Friendswood from the offensive right. And a little hook on that pass, and it's free in front. Kempner boots it away. Far sideline. Can Sarah Moreno run it down and keep it in bounds? Yes, she does. Now she gets back to the middle of the field. She's the only one there. That's the problem. And now she tries to reverse and get it to Wirtz, but she can't, and Friendswood takes it away near midfield. Now Friendswood making a pretty good advance as Schmidt sends it over here on the near side to Palitz. Palitz gets it to Solomon, and I think, did she let it go out of bounds? I believe she did. Kempner will possess it. Hannah Coleman to throw it in. With the pink and silver shoes, fires it. And it rattles around between players, and now Wirtz sends it to the middle, but there are some Friendswood defenders waiting. Harner with a lot of hot sauce on that one sends it all the way down about 40 yards from the goal mouth, but Kempner boots it back out. Moreno pushed from behind. Now the ball is taken away by Saldana. Here comes Friendswood looking for a go-ahead goal, and it is over the goal by Saldana. She had it online, but Madison Alexander was able to exhale as she watched it fly into the darkness at the west end of the Kempner field. 1-1 is our score. So Kempner gets it away from the front of their goal. And here comes Kempner with an offensive thrust. Noriega down the sideline. There are players in pursuit. Moreno trying to run it down, and the ball booted out of bounds by Friendswood. So it'll be a Kempner possession as Palitz just tried to get the defense organized, and she kicked it out of bounds. Near sideline, about 20 yards away from the goal mouth, and Hannah Coleman will throw it in if they ever find the ball. Okay, it's over there to the right. Under 25 minutes to go in regulation time. Kempner hanging in there. This almost feels like that 1980 Soviet-United States hockey game. Coleman throws it in. And Wirtz heads it toward the goal. Moreno centers it, nobody there. And Friendswood trying to bring it back out, but Kempner trying to keep it down in there in the offensive end. Wirtz working hard to keep control of the ball. Now Gazal runs it down, or tries to, but it leaks out of bounds on the far side. Last touched by Friendswood, who was just making that safe move. And now we have Emily Fuentes coming in for Kempner. And she comes in for, is that Wirtz? No, it's not Wirtz. Sorry, it's Annette Martinez. Now the ball is inbounded backwards for Friendswood, and what ends up happening is their goalie, Ellen Fairbanks, comes out to pick it up. And she'll drop it onto her foot and fire away and gets it almost all the way to midfield. Kempner's defenders trying to get it going back the other direction. Hannah Coleman with that high kick. But her pass is intercepted by Friendswood. The Mustangs move it down the far sideline, deep near the right corner, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll still belong to Friendswood. I think that's Bailey Havens over there with her overhead toss. Kempner breaks up the pass that comes in, and the ball goes out of bounds beyond the far sideline, but last touched by Kempner, so a throw in from deep in the right corner for Friendswood. 23 minutes to go. And as soon as they throw it in, Kempner boots it right back to the source of that throw. Now they get it in. Kempner would love to make a little steal here and get a mini breakaway. But it's Friendswood still working the right corner. And Noriega got a foot on the ball, and she couldn't keep possession of it. It goes out of bounds. But no harm done there. And look out, Madison Alexander watching a ball that came her way, but it went to the right of the goal. The deeper you get into this game, the better you have to feel about it if you're the Kempner Cougars. This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Playoff Soccer is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive, 4 great locations in Fort Bend County. Friendswood is going to have a free kick from just under 30 yards in front of the goal mouth, and it'll be Olivia Schmidt to do the honors. And the Kempner girls forming that wall, 5 of them about 10 yards away. And there's a kick that is saved by Alexander on one hop. Schmitz put some pretty good right to left bend in that one, but it did not fool Madison Alexander. She goes down and makes a solid save. Now Noriega with a header to try and get it to midfield for Kempner. Friendswood in possession. Look out. Here comes Menya Bird trying to get it to Moreno in the middle of the field. There was some contact, no call. Play continues. It's about 50 yards away from where they want to score for Friendswood. And Harner gets her pass kicked out of bounds by Gazal. They quickly throw it back in, and a header by Kempner goes right out of bounds one more time. And Harner will throw it in. Bounces the ball a couple of times, and a one-hop pass to a teammate. That's Schmidt trying to get free, and a whistle. And Kempner will have possession. There are 2 soccer balls on the field, and I guess we can't figure out which one we're supposed to use. Okay, now we have 1. Menya Bird ready to go. Boots it down the field, keeps it low. Doesn't go very far. It's redirected by Friendswood, but then Bird sends it along the sideline, and it bends back to the middle of the field. And here comes Friendswood on a very hard offensive thrust. And now a centering pass, and it's Alexander who catches it and covers up. If Friendswood had had someone there at the other end of that centering pass, it would have been trouble. Alexander gets her kick headed across midfield, but Friendswood now possesses it. Near sideline, there is Solomon. Solomon trying to get it out of there. She's surrounded by Kempner defenders, and it goes off the foot of Wirtz out of bounds. Now a throw in by Palitz. Yes. My new friend Tom wanted to know, is Sugarland 2 words? Yes, it is. There's another shot on goal, but a weak one from Friendswood from a long way out, and Alexander makes another save. We're more than halfway through half number 2, and it's 1-1. Kempner trying to pull off what would be a monumental upset, and Sarah Moreno free near the far sideline. She's got a lot of defenders to get through, and now she's knocked down. Ball goes out of bounds, and Friendswood will inbound it. But Wirtz boots it onto the track on the far side so that Kempner can reorganize its defense. The Ridgepoint girls are in the playoffs tomorrow night. Just realized I made a note to myself and put it in my pocket and forgot to get it out, so I can tell you more stuff. So the Ridgepoint girls beat Cinco Ranch in the first round 3-0, and they play Cy Fair tomorrow night. And the winner of Ridgepoint and Cy Fair will meet either Seven Lakes or Cy Creek in round 1 or round 3 of the 6A playoffs, and Cy Lakes and Cy Creek also playing their second round game tomorrow night. So the ball is near midfield, and both teams able to get a couple of shoulders on the ball, a knee, a foot, but neither team making much of an advancement. And then an inbounds pass by Friendswood. I don't know if Brianna Abrego is hard-headed, but she sure sent the ball a long way. And it's still out of bounds over there on the track, and the clock keeps ticking down near 17 minutes. And Friendswood trying to get something going on offense. Olivia Schmidt with a nice little kick down the far sideline, but Kempner is there with some defense. And there's a nice move to the middle. Look out, Friendswood has something going here. It's Palitz who fires it toward Alexander, and she'll come out and cover it up. That didn't have a lot on it, but if it had kept going, it was going to go into the goal. Alexander high into the air with that one, but Friendswood heads it back to the west end. Noriega trying to gain control of the soccer ball, but it is Friendswood who comes out of there with it as Marie Madden has it. Now over on the far side, Harner trying to advance. And now he's centering pass and a beauty to Cameron Peter. She can't get free for a shot. And Kempner's just had a hard time keeping it out of the defensive end here in the half. The pressure continues, and deep into Kempner territory went Friendswood's Palitz, and she ended up falling hard on her stomach. And she's kind of bent over at the waist, not feeling real good right now. She'll have to walk it off. I don't think she's going to come out of the game. Yeah, she's looking normal now. Okay, she's good. But there is going to be a free kick from about 45-degree angle on the offensive left for Friendswood. And about 25 yards away from the goal. And there's a shot that flies over the crossbar and beyond the pole vault pit. So Alexander was there just in case. But the shot sails on these Friendswood Mustangs. And now Menya Bird to do the honors. Kicking it from about 5 yards in front of the Kempner goal. Makes one advance at the ball, backs up now, kicks it, hooks it toward the near sideline. It's headed back by Friendswood, and they didn't get a lot of distance on that one. Kempner needs to get it out of the defensive end, but that's easier said than done. Noriega to Wirtz, who's knocked down. And there is a whistle, and Wirtz draws the foul. And she's rubbing her left hip. She's not feeling real good either. For Kempner, Dahlia Gazal. For Kempner. I'm just trying to help people in the press box because they have been so helpful to me tonight. One good turn deserves another. Okay, so Kempner finally got it out of the defensive end, but Friendswood sends it back into the wrong end again as far as the Cougars are concerned. Wirtz tried to steal it away, almost did, but here's a breakaway. Olivia Schmidt, a couple of defenders there, and Kempner boots it away beyond. Did it go out of bounds on the sideline or the baseline? That's important. It's going to be a corner kick, so it went past the baseline just beyond the stick. It's kind of like a punt that was just barely a touchback. And here is the corner kick, and it's past the goal mouth, headed toward the goal, and off the crossbar and deflected away. Friendswood still in possession. No, the ball went out of bounds. It went past the end line. And Kempner will have a chance to kick it out of there. By the way, it wasn't because of this soccer game, but I have to confess, I watched a couple of scenes from the movie Miracle before I came here in the last, 48 hours or so. Very inspiring, and I'm starting to get inspired by the way Kempner is hanging in there against the Friendswood Mustangs. Substitution. Let's see. I wasn't able to get a positive ID on who went in, but I do know that Annette Martinez came out. And now there's a skirmish near the sideline on this side. And it's going to be Kempner with a free kick from the white painted football sideline. Menya Bird to fire away. About 13 yards short of midfield. Down the sideline she goes with it, has some spin on it, and it goes out of bounds, and Friendswood will throw it in. But there is Wirtz to redirect it, and will it go out of bounds? It did. Friendswood to throw in again. Here's Peter. And redirecting it is Solomon into the Kempner end. And look out, Olivia Schmidt down the left sideline makes a nifty move back toward the middle. She's zigging, she's zagging. Look out. The defense tries to recover. Alexander boots it back out. There's a rebound try by Friendswood, and Kempner boots it out of there. But still, Friendswood is in possession. Kempner would really like to get a breakaway out of this. But Friendswood still applying the pressure. Solomon just avoided Coleman, keeps the ball, and now Moreno. Moreno trying to get it down the field, avoiding a defender, and she's near the sideline with her back to the defender, and the defender pokes it out. So it'll be a throw in for Kempner. But they're still only about 1/3 of the way down the field. Hannah Coleman to throw it in near side. Down the sideline, she goes with it, headed back by Friendswood, but there is Bird. Big centering pass, and on the fly, Friendswood redirects it. Wirtz takes it away from a Friendswood defender, but the ball going the wrong way. And now, heading it out of there is Ron Cowell, but it'll still be Friendswood keeping it. It's a 1-1 game. Just over 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Friendswood on an offensive attack again, but Kempner pokes it away and it goes out of bounds far side. Now Friendswood sends it in and it goes beyond the end line. And Kempner will possess it. We're under 10 minutes to go. Menya Bird in front of the goal, kicking it off the ground. Looks like she's going to angle it to the near sideline, but she does put some hook in it that sends it toward the middle of the field. Wirtz tried to do something with it offensively, but it is Friendswood that keeps it in the Kempner defensive end. Noriega tried to bounce it off one of the Friendswood players. So Kempner just so plucky tonight. They have a disadvantage when it comes to quickness and size, and yet they have really held their own with these Friendswood Mustangs. The ball is over on the right side, about 20 yards from the corner. Now a centering pass. Bryn Farah sends it toward the goal line, but it goes to the right of the goal, and another offensive attempt by Friendswood is turned away by the Kempner Cougars. Tension building as time ticks down, and it's 1-1. Bird boots it down the field, headed quickly back the other way. Cameron Peters sends it near the left corner. Coleman gets it to Noriega, centering pass, but nobody there except white jerseys. There is Pumari Madden. She has a centering pass for Olivia Schmidt, but she gets it taken away from her. Sarah Moreno is open, but she is trying to run the ball down. A defender for Friendswood takes it away. And Sarah Moreno trying to go in there and just get it back. But into the offensive end goes Friendswood. Palitz working her way to the right. Kempner playing solid defense throughout the game. Schmidt now passes it. And the ball poked away from Harner and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kempner. We're going to have less than 7.5 minutes now as Friendswood starts to get another offensive attack going. But Kempner kicks it, try to get it out of the defensive end. To the middle goes Friendswood. They're still about 30 yards away from the goal. And a pass that Alexander comes out and grabs and goes to her knees, and she will be able to boot it away. Friendswood beat Crosby 6-0 last week. Kempner beat Sharpstown 6-1, and the winner of this one will meet either Port Neches Groves or Fulshire. Those two teams play tomorrow night. So whoever survives this one will be able to go scout that PNG Fulshire game. The clock continues to tick. We get down near 6.5 minutes to go in a 1-1 game. Kempner trying to pull off the big upset of Friendswood. Hannah Coleman throws it in. It's headed almost straight up in the air by Friendswood, and Kempner does the same. Sarah Moreno tries to get the ball by heading it, but the Friendswood defenders take it away. They always seem to play 3 or 4 back there. And now they are attacking. There goes Madden. Madden sends it toward the baseline, and it goes out. Way back into the corner. Night getting cool. We're under 6 minutes to go, and it'll be Bird. Kempner working very hard on defense. They've got to find a way to break away offensively somehow. Bird hooks one down close to the near sideline and turns it back toward the middle. Noriega trying to get it ahead to Moreno, and Kempner fans thought there was a foul, and there was. There will be a free kick for Kempner. They will kick it about 11 yards shy of midfield, and it'll be Bird to hammer away again. Coach Chris Davis with some instructions, and Bird sends it deep down the field. Noriega chasing. Their defenders down there, and Friendswood boots it beyond the baseline. Noriega goes down hard, but I think adrenaline alone will get her to her feet. And so we will have a corner kick coming for the Kempner Cougars. And it'll be Menya Bird. Try and give one of her teammates something they can handle and get it into the net. 4.5 minutes to go. Bird ready to kick. Teammates lined up about 15 yards from the goal. There it is in the air, and it flies past the goal mouth. Who's going to get possession of it? And it was Kempner ball. Throwing it in is Roncal. Roncal quickly gets it in, but there's nobody there for Kempner to take possession. And Noriega almost got a shot off, but she was knocked down and the ball taken away by Friendswood. Now Coleman sends it deep. Noriega! And coming out to grab it is the goalkeeper, Fairbanks. A quick redirection by Coleman had Kempner hearts beating fast. Now Kempner looking like they have an opportunity to maybe keep it in the offensive end, but here comes Friendswood and they get across midfield. And quickly down, look out. This is a deep penetration and an elbow by Friendswood's Malik Solomon. And no call made, but it didn't matter. Madison Alexander right there for the save. I remember one time, well, I won't say that right now. I'll save it for one of those times when the ball goes deep into the darkness as we reach the 3-minute mark. And Wirtz takes one away, not far from midfield, and dumps it in. Long run for the Friendswood defenders, and they boot it back to their goalkeeper, Fairbanks. Fairbanks boots it back down the field, but there's Noriega. Moves to her right, trying to keep possession, but it's taken away by Friendswood. Now it's a pass to midfield by Friendswood, but nobody there. And here comes Roncal. Roncal trying to get it to Noriega. And now Friendswood takes possession, and they will make another journey past midfield. But that is taken away right there by Gazal, near sideline, or far sideline rather. Moreno was over there but didn't get close enough to the ball to take possession. Here comes Friendswood, and there is a nice offensive penetration, but it's going to go off the foot of Solomon of Friendswood and out of bounds, so Kempner will get to throw it in near side, but they are a long way from the goal at which they're shooting as we get under the 2-minute mark. Dahlia Gazal won that battle. And the clock is, there's a timeout called right now by Kempner. And by the way, they brought in Emily Fuentes as a substitute. Coleman throws it in down the sideline. And Sarah Moreno trying to take possession. Can she break through the wall? No, it's taken away from her. And now Friendswood boots it deep. And Kempner's got to get it out of there. You don't want to leave it in there too long. High in the air, but still about 30 yards away from the goal mouth. Friendswood trying to get organized offensively, but they have the ball in a good place right now for them. Palitz way across the field. Madden continues to advance it to the right. And now a centering pass high in the air, bounces once, and there is Madison Alexander to pick it up. By the way, the Houston Cougars won tonight. How about that? They're the first team in the Final Four. But we're here all about soccer and the Maroon Cougars. Less than a minute to go in regulation time, and Kempner has battled Friendswood to a 1-1 tie at this point. Look out, Harner over on the right side near the football numbers. And she sends one, a centering pass. Look out. There's going to be a clear shot for Friendswood. And Olivia Schmidt, or rather Cameron Peter, fires it to the left of the goal. Less than half a minute to go. And very good chance that we're going to finish regulation time all tied up at 1-1. Bird's got to get it out of there. Far sideline. The ball goes beyond the boundary, but the clock keeps ticking. 11 seconds to go. Friendswood's got to hurry if they want to get another chance at a shot. And it is Sarah Moreno who boots it far enough away that we now have the final buzzer. Well, the buzzer that ends regulation time, but it is not the final buzzer. Man, I'm so glad I saw this little message that my battery is running low. I forgot to hook it up. I was so excited for this game. Oh, man, that's a great thing to know that I need to plug in, the charger. That would have been a disaster. My goodness, how could I forget that? My battery is running low, but not anymore. Okay, Wow, that could have been curtains. This is one of the greatest soccer matches ever, and I almost forgot to charge the laptop. Okay. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we will go to overtime. We'll be back. Friendswood and Kempner all tied up 1-1.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there is one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
We take care of you so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot in Sugar Land for helping us take care of business. Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, takes care of business every day, so VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. Well, a long time ago, there was, back when Monday Night Football was a much bigger deal than it is now, there was this game, a lousy matchup at the time. The Colts and the Patriots both were pretty weak, and it was a rainy night in New England. But at the end of the game, which was so exciting, former Port Arthur Jefferson High School star Joe Washington was the big hero for the Colts in a wild offensive show. And near the end of that game, Howard Cosell said, "What a football game this turned out to be." And what a soccer game this has turned out to be, or soccer match if you prefer. But I'll tell you what, the Kempner Cougars have really been hanging in there like a rusty fish hook, and we're going to be going to overtime, 2 10-minute overtime periods, separated by a 2-minute break in between. And At the end of one of those 10-minute overtime periods, the teams will change ends. So each team gets 10 minutes to fire away at the goal at one end, and then they'll flip it over. And so just in case there is some kind of wind advantage, well, everything is fair. 2 10-minute overtime periods going in different directions. So the Kempner girls have talked it over, and so too have the Friendswood girls. The teams have their battle plan. And I'll tell you what, it smells like teen spirit, because I don't see how these players could ever run out of energy, because they want it so bad here tonight. You heard it, 1, 2, 3, Lady Cougs. All right. This could be a great night to be a Cougar if Kempner pulls it off. They have played magnificently. So here in the first overtime period, Kempner will be trying to advance the ball from left to right and score in the goal at the east end. Then after 10 minutes, again, a goal does not end it. Just keep that in mind. So just because someone scores, the match is not over. Join us tomorrow night at 6:45 for baseball. Ridgepoint at Elkins. Both teams 4-0 in District 26A play. Then on Thursday night, we've got softball. Austin at Ridgepoint. 5:45 with the batter-up show and a first pitch at 6. Then the following week, on Tuesday, it's Dulles at Ridgepoint softball, 6 o'clock start. Wednesday night, Ridgepoint at Travis baseball. Well, Friendswood chooses to kick deep at the outset of this first overtime period and all the way into the arms of Madison Alexander. The teams going the same directions that they were in the second half. Kempner almost got the ball to midfield but lost possession, and now they advance it forward. Sarah Moreno also lost possession, a pass that just eluded her foot near midfield. And Friendswood trying to get it into the offensive end, and I'm not sure what happened, but a foul called on, I believe that was Friendswood's Poomery Madden. I heard someone say, uh-oh. I don't know if it's significant in any way. I think somebody might have just gotten ejected by the officials. So we have a stoppage of play, and the clock is stopped with 9:07 to go in this first overtime period. I don't know that anyone was ejected. Maybe just a yellow card, maybe a warning. All right. It is Bird who hammers away at the soccer ball and gets it into the offensive end, and Kempner trying to get some kind of clean shot. And a hold on Friendswood and a free kick for Kempner. That will come about 43 yards, make it 44 yards away from the goal mouth at which they're shooting over at the east end. It's 1-1. We're in overtime. This is the first of 2 10-minute overtime periods. Menya Bird ready. I don't think she's going to kick deep. I think she's just going to pass it to someone. Actually, it's Ron Kahl who's just going to pass it backwards, lateraling it to Wirtz. Now Wirtz tries to get it to Noriega. Noriega battling a couple of defenders, centering pass. Nobody there. Wirtz did close in there for a second. Now Hannah Coleman tried to kick it forward, and it went straight up. Straight up now, tell me. And now the ball over by the far sideline. Kempner pokes it away. It'll go out of bounds, but no harm done. Friendswood with the throw in, but a long way from the goal. And Harner trying to get it closer to the center of the field. Now she advances down the sideline, makes a move, and a whistle. Friendswood will keep it about 50 yards away from the goal. Emma Saldana puts the ball on the ground, and it goes into the scrum, and Kempner sends it back out. Noriega booting it down the sideline, and Friendswood will throw it in again with Harner. She doesn't waste any time, gets it right back in bounds. And Kempner might have a chance here with Noriega. She makes a move. She's got to outrun the defenders. She's still possessing the ball. The defense closes in. Noriega sends it toward the goal, and it would have been off to the right a little bit, and it's scooped up by Fairbanks. But a nice effort there by Noriega. Nice hitting of the ball by these Kempner Cougars, and Sarah Moreno trying to take possession, but too many defenders there. Now quickly back down the field. It is Friendswood with an advance. And over there in the right corner, it is Solomon. And the ball goes out of bounds, and Friendswood will maintain possession. They'll have a corner kick as the ball trickled over the baseline, last touched by Kempner. 6:20 to go in the first overtime period. Here's the kick in front of the goal mouth. Kempner heads it away, but it goes beyond the baseline. Last touch by the Cougars, and we'll have another corner kick. It is far away and it's dark over there, but I believe it's Emma Saldana doing the honors. And it's a high kick, and it goes off the side of the football goalpost. Way too high, and it'll be Kempner possession once again. One to one, Kempner looking for the big upset of Friendswood. Both teams playing playoff style defense. Now Bird's going to kick it out of there near sideline, and she slices it out of bounds. Didn't get it very far. And now Friendswood will throw it in, not too far from where they want to score. Palitz gets it in, but it's poked away. There's Sarah Moreno. She gets it taken away. Number 13 battling number 13. And there's those two, Emma Saldana and Moreno, giving each other the business. And there's a yellow card. And I think it might be the soccer equivalent of offsetting penalties in American football. But it will be Friendswood to have a free kick from 45 yards away from the goal mouth. Emma Saldana twisting her foot, and the official writing down something on the yellow card. The official says, hold on to Emma Saldana, and she has Annette Martinez back up about 10 yards. And there it goes toward the goal, and a beautiful catch by Alexander. Beautiful save, and that would have gone in the goal had she not been there, but that was a clean catch, just very, very solid. No wiggle at all in there. So there is a whiff by Coleman. She tried to get it down the field, but it all ends up okay. She was able to tap it off the shin of Solomon. And it'll be Coleman throwing it in near sideline, and the clock has stopped. 4:21 to go in this first 10-minute overtime period. Coming off the field is Emily Fuentes, or do I have to say pitch? Coming off the pitch, coming off the field. Coleman throws it down the sideline and quickly kicked right out of bounds by Friendswood. We're ticking down near the 4-minute mark in this first overtime period. By the way, I see my good friend, Kempner principal Lori Oliver. She's here. She was a coach of softball. Wirtz tried to run it down for Kempner in the offensive end. She's all over the place just trying to get a foot or a body part on the ball. And now there is Sarah Moreno trying to advance it. And she's going to get called for a foul about 10 yards into the offensive end as one of the Friendswood players had taken it away. 3.5 minutes to go in the first overtime. Bombs away goes Palitz. And Wirtz knocks it out of there, rolls toward the sideline. Can Kempner save it? No, they do not keep it in. Friendswood with the throw in. There is Olivia Schmidt, but she gets it taken away. Now a centering pass, and it's Bryn Farah. Tries to take possession. Now the ball in the near side. Palitz has it. She gets it poked away by Noriega, and there's a whistle and a foul on Friendswood. It'll be a free kick for Kempner from a spot that is 38 yards in front of the goal they're defending. Menya Bird ready to go. Bird fires it along the football numbers, but it's headed back by Friendswood. And now a deep foray, a dump by Friendswood across the end line, and nobody touched it, so it'll be Kempner ball. Clock ticking at 2:20 to go and a timeout called. Substitution. Emily Fuentes comes in, and Sarah Moreno, who's played a great game, comes out. See a lot more substitution here late. Now Bird fires one down the field. Wirtz tries to advance it. Olivia Schmidt kicks it near the goal. Look out. Kempner defense arriving. And a great save by Madison Alexander. I can't see who made the kick. But that could have been the winning goal. Of course, it would not have ended the game. But the way these two teams are playing defense, that really would have been something. Still trying to get an ID on who kicked that. The ball goes out of bounds, and the official said it was last touched by Kempner. The Kempner fans don't agree. That would-be score was by Olivia Schmidt, but what a save, a diving save by Madison Alexander, making herself as tall as possible, and she catches another one. That was a long bomb by Emma Saldana. She got a good foot on it, but Alexander saw it all the way and gloved it. We're closing in on the 1 minute mark. She boots it down the field, headed quickly back by Friendswood. And it's an over and back, an offsides call, I do believe, on these Friendswood Mustangs. And we're under a minute to go in the first overtime, still tied at 1. Menya Bird from the middle of the field, and she advances it into the right kind of territory. There's only one Kempner offensive player down there. We've got 30 seconds to go, and Kempner can throw it in from the far sideline, but they got to go fetch the ball real quick. Clock down to 20. Throw in to happen soon. It needs to happen very soon. The time is getting away from them. 12 seconds left. They still have not inbounded the ball. Now they get it in, but wait a minute, a whistle. And the clock's still ticking, 5 seconds. And they're not going to be able to get anything done. And the first overtime ends. Still tied, 1-1. We'll take a break. This is VypeFortBend.com. We'll be back after this from the University Interscholastic League.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care. The sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Don't miss the Texas UIL State Soccer Championships for the boys and the girls in April. For more information, go to uiltexas.org. Friendswood has had visions of a state championship, Final Four dancing in their heads, but will they get out of Kempner Stadium alive here? And I shouldn't call it Kempner Stadium because old Kempner Stadium is over near St. Teresa's Catholic Church in historic Sugar Land near the corner of 7th Street and Wood. And that is where the Sugar Land Express Kenneth Hall set all the running back records for the state of Texas and held them for decades. And that's old Kempner Stadium, and this is current Kempner Stadium, I guess you would call it. And it's been here since 1989 when the school opened, but this field has a perfect brand new field turf surface that was just installed, 3-4 months ago. I think I'm a little bit wrong on the timetable. Maybe they did it over the summer. But it's given everybody a perfect true surface. It has a little bit of a crown in the middle, which it needs for drainage. But the important thing is that it's just very fair and no unpredictable low spots, soft spots, wet spots, anything like that. And here we go with another 10-minute overtime period. The teams switch ends. And it'll be Friendswood trying to go from left to right, that is to say from west to east. And Kempner trying to score down at the west end.
Come on, move!
It's a nice, cool night, so these athletes are in such great shape that I don't think, if Mr. T was here, if he was one of them, he'd say, I got a whole lot of mo. That's what he would say. Like from the first fight. When Clubber Lang defeated Rocky Balboa and Mickey died. It was horrible. Anyway, speaking of not horrible, this game is just riveting. Or match, if you prefer. 1-1 as we begin the second overtime period. And Kempner advancing it. Chasing it down there is Sarah Moreno, but it's picked up by their goalkeeper, Fairbanks. And she boots it back down the field. Wirtz trying to take it away. Kempner getting something done in the offensive end. There goes Sarah Moreno trying to outrun her larger defender. He's over near the left corner. And now the ball taken away by Friendswood, but booted out of bounds on the near sideline. And Kempner will have a throw-in about 35 yards away from the goal mouth. And it'll be Hannah Coleman. And she fires it toward the corner, looking for Moreno, and the ball just goes beyond the end line. Didn't touch anyone. The Friendswood defenders saw that it didn't touch anyone from their team or from Kempner, and they simply let it go. So, from their own end, Friendswood gets it into the offensive end, but Kempner quickly turns it around. There's a redirection kick by Gazal. Now she has a header. Both teams trying to advance it down the near sideline. No one was able to do anything, and now Pooh-Marie Madden has it. Friendswood with their first really serious offensive thrust of this second overtime. Centering pass, look out. It's free. It's too close to the front of the goal. And Kempner's just going to try to kick it out of bounds, and they do. Menya Bird gets it done. But that will enable Friendswood to throw it in from the far sideline and try and get something going here. Their throw-in player is right even with the goal line, so about 10 yards in front of the goal mouth, and a whistle and offsides on Friendswood. The thing about offsides in soccer, it's not as easy to call as hockey, because with hockey, it belongs with the blue line. The blue line never moves. But in soccer, there is no line for offsides. It's based on the positioning of players. I'm kind of thinking it would be really exciting if there was no such thing as offsides in soccer. All right, so Kempner will throw it in from the far sideline, very close to midfield. Coleman gets it in. It looked like one of the Friendswood defenders just wrapped up a Kempner player. The ball goes out of bounds, and now it'll be Friendswood to throw it in with less than 7 minutes to go. And here come the Mustangs on offense. They're about 40 yards away from the goal, still maintaining possession. It is Schmidt who gets it over to Saldana. Saldana sends it close, and Madison Alexander makes yet another save. Oh, she has been money tonight. Hasn't given up a goal since Bailey Haven scored at 38-11 of the first half, not too, long before the halftime whistle, or buzzer, I should say. And then Jaretzi Noriega scored for Kempner at 4:54 of the second half, and that's been it. Closing in on the 6-minute mark. Friendswood throwing in a possession near midfield. Kempner threatening to take it away. Down the sideline it goes and out of bounds again. And who will possess it? I didn't see a flag pointing either way, and they say Friendswood possesses it. Under 6 minutes to go. There's a quick throw in by Schmidt. And Kempner defenders down there. And a centering pass, and it's Alexander who gloves it again. 0-1 has been awesome tonight. Wearing the black uniform, all of her teammates wearing maroon. She's got one leg completely enveloped in the black compression sleeve, and she boots it down the field near the midfield stripe, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Hannah Coleman to throw it in far side as we close in on the 5-minute mark. Coleman takes a few steps and fires it. Here's Moreno trying to get it going in the offensive direction. There's a little scrum there. The ball just kind of frozen among players. Now it trickles over to the far sideline, and Friendswood gets a pretty hot smash into the Kempner offensive end, or defensive end, I should say. And they are maintaining possession. Look out, Saldana. She's about 30 yards away, and now Moreno trying to take it away from Schmidt. Can't get it done. It's still dangerously close to the goal, but now it leaks out to the right side. Stays in bounds. Friendswood still with possession. There's Peter between the numbers and the hash marks on the left side. And now a pass over on the right wing. And Havens had the ball go off of her foot, but it was knocked out of bounds by Kempner, and Kempner again knocks it out of bounds. This time it was Annette Martinez. And now Sarah Moreno down the near sideline. Actually, that's Sarah Moreno on the receiving end of it, but the ball trickles over to the far side, and nobody there until Palitz runs it down for Friendswood. 4 minutes to go in the second overtime. Now there's a centering pass. Look out, Schmidt is loose, and she might have a shot. Oh, Kempner poked it out of there, and now it is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Cameron Peter of Friendswood, and Kempner in their own defensive end will throw it in from the far side. Near the goal line at the wrong end for Kempner. Hannah Coleman flinging it down the field as far as she can. It stays in bounds. And there's Farah. She gets it to the middle of the field. And for Kempner, it's Gazal who sends it back toward midfield, but Friendswood is there to redirect it. Pooh-Marie Madden between the numbers and the hash marks on the left side. Weaving her way through traffic. Look out. She makes a couple of great moves. Friendswood may get a shot off, and they fire it wide. But it goes off the hands of Alexander, so it'll be a corner kick for Friendswood. So the Cougars not out of the woods yet. I believe on that kick it was Saldana. Not sure, though. And Peter with the corner kick. Bounces off ahead, still loose in front of the Kempner goal. Look out. And Alexander, she covers it up miraculously. Fighting off the flurry of attempts by Friendswood. And Kempner keeps it tied 1-1. And what a magnificent goal, game in goal that Madison Alexander has played. Harner, I believe, was the one that almost got a chance at the goal that would have broken this 1-1 tie. Now Bird fires away, tries to get it to midfield. It takes two bounces. Now Moreno has some momentum. Far sideline, trying to get away from a defender. She's doing battle. And two Friendswood players appear to fall on top of the ball. No, it went out of bounds and they fell on top of each other. We're under 2 minutes to go. Still tied at 1. Kempner to throw in far sideline. Hannah Coleman looking for Moreno. It leaks between all the players, and Friendswood will kick it back to Ellen Fairbanks, their goalie. She boots it down the middle of the field, near midfield, and here comes Friendswood, but Kempner redirects it. Menya Bird sends it back the other way. Now Harner gets it into the offensive end, and now Moreno with a chance to get away. She's trying to get free. She may have a chance here, and she is knocked down. 1:22 to go, and now Friendswood comes back the other way, trying to get it across midfield. A long pass into the offensive end for Friendswood. Now they have it about 40 yards away from the goal. Down the near side, it is Bailey Havens, and her pass is poked out of bounds by Kempner. She needs to throw it in. She picks up the ball, but it had trickled onto the field. Now she throws it over her head. And she gets it to Madden. Madden near the middle of the field, and now Kempner advances it to Moreno. Moreno has a defender back there, and that defender is Victoria Davis, and she boots it back to Fairbanks, and we're at 43 seconds to go, and Moreno is down there with a long pass, and she's trying to take it away from the defender, and it's almost poked out of bounds. Noriega now has it far sideline. She retreats a little bit. Coleman with a hard pass to the middle. There's Wirtz, and she just sends one toward the goal. It's just an easy bouncer into the hands of Fairbanks. 20 seconds to go in this second overtime. Still 1-1. Kempner, can they get one more shot at the goal before we run out of time in the second OT? Ball goes out of bounds. It will be thrown in by Friendswood, but they're running out of time. 5 seconds to go, and the second overtime will end. Still tied 1-1. We're going to go to penalty kicks, fans, and we'll tell you about the format when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there is one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. And we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot in Sugar Land for helping us take care of business. Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, takes care of business every day. So VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. And speaking of taking care of business, when the Kempner girls have gone to penalty kicks, or if you prefer a shootout, they won against Foster in district play. They won against Fulshear in district play. with the shootout of penalty kicks. You will have 5 players from each team, and they will take turns firing away at the goal. And it is first team to 5 goals as long as you're ahead by 2. But if you're not ahead by 2, then you play on until someone is ahead by 2. It's kind of like at Wimbledon when it's not the ultimate set. To win a set at Wimbledon, well, I guess when it is the ultimate set at Wimbledon, you have to keep on playing until someone is ahead by 2 games. And that's how the penalty kicks basically work. You want to get to 5 first, and if you're at 5 first and you're ahead by 2, then you win. But thereafter, if they keep banging in those penalty kicks, then, you know, we could be here for a long, long time. But don't worry, I have my laptop charging. So the Kempner Cougars are talking it over, and I see Coach Chris Davis. He is smiling. He looks like he's having fun. So do his athletes. Meanwhile, I think you would have to say, if we're going to talk about the pressure factor, there is pressure on Friendswood. They are the favored team here. So I'm going to let you know who's out there for Kempner. I see Wirtz. I see Menya Bird. I see Sofia Roncal. I see Jaretzi Noriega. And I would think the other one would be, let's see. Hold on. So is Moreno out there? Moreno? Sarah Moreno? Okay, I see Wirtz, Roncal, Noriega. I missed Bird, yeah. Menya Bird. So that's just 4. 1, 2. Wirtz, Bird, Roncal, and Noriega. I'm missing somebody. I've got Wirtz, Roncal, Bird, and Noriega. Okay, so even though she's the goalkeeper. Okay. All right, now I see it's down there already. All right, so Roncal will fire away first for the Cougars, and the ball placed 12 yards away from the goal mouth. Waiting for the whistle from the official, and the crowd goes silent. It's almost like being at Augusta National. Okay, there's the whistle, and Roncal ready. She fires, and it's in. All right, 1 for Kempner. And now Friendswood will fire away. By the way, I know the crowd noise is going to be loud. So I'll turn our crowd mic down. I want you to make sure that you hear what I say. And now it is going to be Malik Solomon. Alexander in goal. Here's the kick, and it's good. 1-1 is the score in these penalty kicks to determine who goes to the 3rd round of the playoffs. It'll either be against Fulshire or Port Neches Groves. And now the long walk by Elizabeth Wirtz to take her shot. And it's a different goalkeeper in there for Friendswood, and she's wearing the orange vest, so I'm not really sure who that is. Kaylin Hernandez is the other goalkeeper listed on their roster, so I'm going to go with Kaylin Hernandez. Wirtz trying to dig a hole in the field turf. I don't think you can do that. I used to put my foot in the mud to kick a football off the ground. Okay, Wirtz ready to go. It's 1-1 in penalty kicks. There it goes. And it bounces off the crossbar. No good. That might prove costly. So Madison Alexander will move back in place, and she needs to make a big play here. And I believe it's Bryn Farah to kick it for Friendswood. Yes, it is. She fires, and it's stopped by Alexander. How about that? So 2 penalty kicks by both teams, and only one has gone in for each team. What? Oh, no. What is going on here? Bryn Farah is going to get another kick. I guess she was not given. Maybe Madison Alexander made some kind of illegal move. An official is talking to her now. Oh, my goodness. She appeared to have made the save, but evidently it doesn't count. So now Farah will try again. She fires, and it's too high. She misses high. All right, so nothing wrong, nothing illegal about that one. It was just, it bounced off the bottom of the football crossbar and ended up on top of the goal net at the west end. So 2 players from each team have fired away and come up empty. And now for Kempner, it's Menya Bird. Sing, Bird, sing. She's 12 yards away from the goal. Kaylin Hernandez waiting. There's the kick, and it's good. Two penalty kicks in for Kempner, 1 in for Friendswood, but Friendswood has had 1 less turn at it. And now Palitz will take her turn. You know, I kind of wish they'd run down there. When they walk down there, the tension is just, it's almost more than you can stand. Wow, this is great. It's like a long, long walk. I'm trying to think of some other sports situation where there's a long, long walk. Quite like this, maybe up the 18th fairway at Augusta. Okay, here we go. It is Palitz ready to try and equalize the penalty kicks, and she fires away, and it's good. Alexander kind of guessed wrong, moved right. The kick was to her left, and it's 2-2 after 3 players from each side have taken a shot. And is that Noriega? Only she has a ponytail that long, but it covers up the number on her back, so I need a little help from my new friends. Okay. Jaretzi Noriega, the senior, trying to make sure this is not her last high school soccer match. This would be a big one if she can pound it in. So quiet. There might be an explosion of noise. She scores. It's 3 successful penalty kicks for Kempner, 2 for Friendswood, but Friendswood has had 1 less turn, and here we go. It's Cameron Peter. She is the daughter of the head coach for Friendswood. And Bird, the daughter of the assistant coach for Kempner, has just scored. And if Madison Alexander can save this one, you're going to hear quite a roar. Here comes Peter. She fires it right down the middle and good, and Alexander moved to her right. So now we're all even at 3-3. 1 kicker for each team to go again. They have 4 players out there for each team, and 1 will take the additional shot. Okay, well, wait a minute. It's Madison Alexander to do the kicking for Kempner. She's the goalkeep. She's going to kick, and she's stopped. Oh, my goodness. Kaylin Hernandez stopped her shot. So that means that if Friendswood gets the next one to go in, they will have a 4-3 lead. And it'll be up to Poomarie Madden to put her team ahead 4-3 on penalty kicks. Alexander poised. Here's the shot. And it's good. And that ends it because they're celebrating wildly. Kempner really battled these Friendswood Mustangs, but Friendswood wins it 4-3 on penalty kicks. And Friendswood will advance to play either Port Neches Groves or Fulshire. You couldn't be prouder of the Kempner girls. They did so well. In regulation time, Friendswood scored first at 38-11 of the first half. Bailey Havens hooked one in, past Madison Alexander, but then at 4:54 of the second half, Jaretsi Noriega was able to get one in. Now, hold on a second. I'm going to take a break because I got to ask everybody what's going on. It doesn't look like the teams are leaving, but now the fans appear to be leaving. It is over, right? Okay. Thank you very much. And because of COVID, the two teams wave at each other from across the field. What a magnificent effort by Kempner. They can be so proud, and good luck, Friendswood. There's no way that any team will ever get to their dream of a state championship without some really, really tough battles along the way, especially in Region 3. And congratulations to Friendswood for winning on penalty kicks. It was tied 1-1 at the end of regulation, and they win it 4-3. This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Soccer has been brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. And all four of them are open on Saturdays for the best prices on tires. Go to firsttireandauto.com. Well, so glad you were with us for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, whether you were from Kempner or for Friendswood. It was just an amazing athletic contest, and it came down to penalty kicks, and Friendswood had 4 successful ones to 3 for Kempner. And we hope you'll join us tomorrow night for baseball. Ridgepoint taking on Elkins, both teams 4-0 in District 26A play, and they don't like each other at all. That makes it so much more fun. And then on Thursday night, it'll be softball. Austin against Ridgepoint. The Austin Bulldog girls really, really need the win over the Ridgepoint Panther girls, and the game will be played on the hard-scrabble streets of Siena. And then, as we always do in Fort Bend ISD, unless rain delays force it, we never play on Good Friday. Everybody's going to take Easter weekend off, and then we'll be back at it with a very busy week, the week of April 5th through 10th. We will have 4 broadcasts for you, 2 of them involving Kempner. But I've talked long enough. For everybody on the Vype team, thank you so much for being with us. Good night from Voss Road in Sugar Land, and we will talk to you on Tuesday, that's tomorrow night, at 6:45, ready for the first pitch. Elkins against Ridgepoint. Good night and God bless.
I can't believe they put number 7 in the